everybody, and welcome to Grimwit with Dimwits. And Happy New Year! Okay, I'm the worst whistler in the world.
You so are.
I'm T.
And I'm Blondie.
Can you believe it's already 2024? How crazy is that?
That is insane. I honestly cannot believe a few things. First, another year went by. Honestly, you blink and the year is gone. I mean, and not in a good way, not in the whole I dream a genie way.
But hey, if you're going to get stuck in a bottle, I'd be totally down for that velvety, pimped out crib any day.
And the outfit. Let's just do the outfit.
All day with the outfit. Maybe not in this body, but the body of yesterday, yes.
Hey, if I can blink and live in a bottle, I can blink myself that body.
Right. Yep. Good blinking.
And second, can you believe that it has been 6 months since we started our podcast? It seems like we just started last month.
Maybe like 2 months ago. Don't candy coat it. This has been a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
It's totally a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying this, especially with you, because we just need to do more crazy stuff together.
Aww.
Oh, shut up. Move on.
Okay, so moving on. Third, we are so humbled and appreciative that you have taken your valuable time to listen to our show. It's just amazing.
It really is. We are so grateful. Thank you all so much.
With that, we wanted to give a big thank you to all of our listeners, friends, and friendly listeners.
Well, let's not neglect our hostile listeners then, because I'm sure there's a handful of those too. I think I know a couple.
Do I count?
And hey, let's shout out the cities with the largest audience to our show. Beaumont, California. Followed by, a very close second, the city of Huntington Beach, California.
Ooh.
We are honestly honored. Occasionally, we are going to start to shout out more cities, so stay tuned if you want to hear yours.
I'm looking forward to that. Since this is a new year, I wanted to look into something that occurs at the beginning of each new year. No, it's not a hangover or a resolution that has a shelf life of about a week, but superstitions.
Ooh.
Some superstitions are in our minds, things we think, things we wish and dream, while others are actually performed for good luck, love, and good fortune. Others are to avoid pain, loss, or even death. Superstitions or folklore have been around for centuries and all over the world, but the origin of most of them are unknown. I wonder if we could start one, put something online and see if it actually becomes some superstition. I'm sure, knowing us, it'll be something absolutely ridiculous.
How about if you listen to our show, you'll become way smarter and way better looking. You're welcome.
Well, heck, I'm going to start listening.
Me too. I'm going to listen many times over.
One of the most famous superstitions, which to be honest, I didn't know was a superstition, is kissing someone at midnight, on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was a countdown to be frisky, but in actuality, kissing the one you love at the stroke of midnight is not only a form of celebration, but also ensures that you will have 12 months of affection and love with that person. However, if you fail to kiss that person at the stroke of midnight, that will ensure 12 months of coldness.
So dramatic.
I know, coldness, which actually explains a lot. Someone is going, darn it, that's why we don't like each other anymore. I knew if I would have held it and gone to the restroom after midnight,
you may have had a chance.
That's right.
What if you kiss someone who's not so awesome? Are you stuck with them for the whole year? Because that could explain a lot too.
I don't know, but you're right. It could.
A lot of unhappy couples out there.
They either didn't like each other or they waited till 12:03.
Or they should have been kissing each other's friends and not each other.
Wow.
I know. Okay, cut.
Oh my gosh. So another is stocking up is also something that should be done to ring in the new year. Filling your cabinets full of food and having plenty of money in your wallet to start off the new year. I think that was exceptionally poignant in 2020.
Nobody has extra money after the holidays. Is it just me?
I don't think I have extra money before the holidays.
Exactly. So you have less after the holidays.
I didn't write them. I'm just reading them.
You're right. You're right. Don't shoot the messenger.
Right? Now, who would have thought a chicken or lobster could bring you bad luck? They are so delicious.
Mm-hmm.
They are so They are so stupid. They're so delicious.
They're
But eating either one on January 1st can mess with your whole year. The background is because chickens have wings, your luck could fly away, and because lobsters walk backwards, which honestly I didn't know they did that. If you eat one on the 1st, it might hold you back all year long.
I think I knew lobsters walk backwards. I'm having to think about that now. But just to be safe, don't gnaw on anyone that moonwalks either. Just saying.
Don't gnaw on anyone that moonwalks.
They walk backwards.
Oh.
Hello.
Let's just do vegetarian for. Do you know why you shouldn't walk under a ladder?
No, I do not.
When a ladder is open or leaning against a wall, it forms a triangle. And in Christianity, it's the doctrine of the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit. Since the Trinity is sacred, the number 3 is also sacred. So, walking under a ladder is seen to be breaking the Trinity, a blasphemous offense, inviting bad luck and misfortune. Isn't it amazing the beliefs behind these? I had no idea, but I still don't walk under a ladder. I think for me, it's just a safety issue.
It doesn't seem like a very smart move.
No,
either way.
There are a whole slew of superstitions that involve cleaning and laundry. Sweeping should be avoided between Christmas and New Year's or just on New Year's Day because you can risk sweeping good luck out of the door, or it could cause unexpected consequences, including the possible death of a relative.
But if you're in a hurry for that inheritance, sweep away.
You're a sick person.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to help over here.
In Tennessee, they caution that washing clothes on the first day of the year could cause you to wash someone out of your family.
Or wash away. Might actually work better if you have a photo of that person on the thing you're washing.
Stick in a pocket of a pair of jeans.
Right.
Doing laundry or washing dishes on New Year's Day was thought to bring a year that was brimming with hard work or lead to death of a family member in the next 12 months. This particular superstition was based on a fear of losing a family member through humdrum tasks. Are you seeing a trend here?
What, that people aren't too smart?
I think these superstitions are made up by a woman who was exhausted from the holidays and just wanted to take a nap, telling her family, if I do anything cleaning-wise, one of you might die. I'm just looking out for you. It's a great justification.
Okay, so maybe there's like one smart person.
And it was a female.
That's right.
So Italians invented their own version of feng shui for New Year's Day. It's called Italian window toss. They toss old items out of the window so that new and lucky items could replace them. It is thought to symbolize a fresh start to create positive changes to come and remove negative energy. I'm thinking that this tied with the cleaning superstition and wanting new furniture.
I'm seriously hoping all this tossing isn't done from an upstairs window, because that's definitely bad luck for anyone on the sidewalk.
Well, they didn't say it was a superstition for people out on the street. Turkey has a number of superstitions. I was surprised by a few. They do have a lot that revolve around pixies and fairies and nighttime. It's called jinn, which I guess the Turks don't even say because it's too frightening. But if you cross any of these superstitions, the pixies and fairies will come out in their evil forms. Kind of reminds me of a gremlin that gets wet. It is warned that you do not urinate outside or you will be met with traumatic misfortune by the pixies and fairies. Another Turkish legend is about chewing gum at night. It is believed that if you chew gum after dark, the gum will turn into the flesh of dead people. I'm pretty sure Juicy Fruit doesn't have a warning label for that.
But if it's true, it's totally keto friendly.
What I say earlier, you're a sick person. I found an interesting one from Rwanda. That's about women eating goat meat. The folklore warns women not to eat goat meat because supposedly it would cause facial hair growth and stubbornness. Right? There is a theory that this was created by men so they could have more meat to themselves.
Women should have counteracted that with it would cause men to lose all their body hair and menstruate. That would have solved that problem.
Menstruate?
Menstruate.
Menstruate?
You want me to say it again?
Isn't it menstruate?
No, menstruate.
It's the way you say it.
It's not menstruate.
Menstruate. The
I like the way I said it the first time. Menstruate. It's not menstruate. There's a U in there.
All right. Now, funerals are full of superstitions. Arriving in a funeral after the procession has started will bring death back to your house. Counting carriages or cars of a funeral as soon as they go by would bring death within a year.
Who's counting and why? Get a life. Oops, sorry about that. No pun intended.
So this one made me sad. Whoever the last person was that the person who is dying looks at before dying would be the first to die of those who were around their bedside. I would think that personally, I would want to be, say it was a very close family member, I would want to be the last person that they look at as sort of comfort. Unless, of course, it's, crazy Uncle Larry, and then I'm, not saying, but I'm just saying.
I'm getting a visual of people rotating around the bedside super fast, like they're playing hot potato game. Yours. No, it's yours. It's yours. You look.
Take it.
Look at her. Take one for the team.
Oh, help me. Another death will come if you leave the graveside before the coffin is lowered.
Well, that's just bad manners. So that sounds justified to me.
Yeah, I agree. So
just left me hanging on that one.
Sorry. I didn't know what I was going to say. Don't be the first to leave the cemetery. If you are the first mourner to leave, you'll be the first person of the assembled to die. Can you imagine? I'll wait.
I'm good. I'm parked all the way in back. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I'm going to stay.
Superstitions and folklore are interesting and sometimes funny. I'm sure everyone has at least one thing that they do is superstitious, whether they realize it or not. My father was born in the Midwest. He was very old school. Everything to him was pretty much black and white, not a lot of gray area in his thinking.
I remember him well.
He had a little bit of that John Wayne-esque happening.
He really did.
But he seriously took issue with Friday the 13th, the day. I always thought it was kind of funny because of just who he was.
Yeah, that doesn't line up with his personality at all.
His thinking, no. Do you have anything you're superstitious about, T?
I wouldn't say I'm superstitious, although I will avoid stepping on a crack so I don't break my mama's back because that's just the right thing to do.
You're such a giver.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mom.
I do have that thing of going through tunnels and honking, specifically when you drive under the runways at LAX, honking for good luck.
I never knew that was for good luck. I thought you just did it because it sounded cool. I didn't know it was a good luck thing.
You've been with me in the car when we've done that.
I know. I just thought you were obnoxious like you always are. I'm like, yeah, okay. We're 12 again.
But what happens when superstitions turn into something deadly? There are several countries that have their own superstitions and remedies of how to handle them. One of the remedies includes human sacrifice. In India, besides believing in superstitions, they also believe in black magic and human sacrifice. Whether it is to help someone who is sick, for prosperity, fertility, financial stability, or health, human sacrifice seems to be the answer. Prominent physician and anti-superstition activist Narendra Dabhukar, who was working for human rights and against human sacrifice, was out for his morning walk on August 20th, 2013, when two men on a motorcycle pulled up and assassinated him. They were radicals against Narendra's work. In 2021, police got a tip that two women, one a 27-year-old postgraduate student, and the second was a 22-year-old who attended KM Music Conservatory, were killed by their parents. Their father had his doctorate in science, was a professor and a college vice principal, and their mother was a postgraduate and gold medalist, also a correspondent and the principal of a local private school. They both were very superstitious and highly spiritual. They believed their daughters would come alive after cleansing evil from their bodies. An official said, quote, "The parents were of a delusional opinion that their daughters possess evil spirits and would come back alive afresh after their death. We were also told that their daughters were also under the same impression." End quote. The women were bludgeoned to death with something similar to a dumbbell. After killing them and supposedly coming back to life, their parents believed they would all live happily ever after. Not a fairy tale I remember growing up with.
Wow. First of all, these people, all of them, including the daughters, were highly educated. So I can't fathom how they don't realize that death is final. I think that's been proven again and again. So unless you've personally seen someone come back to life after being for sure dead, how are these people this gullible? With their education, especially in science, didn't you say the dad had a doctorate in science?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, this makes no sense whatsoever. Has this ever happened before? Never.
I think because of their spirituality and their beliefs in superstitions and rituals, things of that nature, that's just what they believe.
And so they thought they were going to be the very first ones to bring their kids back, right? And of course, they couldn't kill them humanely. They had to bludgeon them with a dumbbell?
Yeah, that was a little rough.
And kind of ironic that they used a dumbbell when this is so dumb. I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. It's like, wow, and those girls just let them? Like, okay, we're down for this. What the heck?
I wonder about that as well. Did they actually believe that was going to happen? The daughters, did they actually believe they were going to come back to life? Or do the parents say that as kind of a justification after the fact?
Well, they're not children. They're
No,
22 and 27. Again, has anyone ever seen proof that this has ever happened before? No, they have not.
No.
So how ridiculous and dumbbellish is this? It's just crazy.
October 2022, the bodies of two women were found in Kerala. They had been severely tortured. Their throats had been slit, they were cut into pieces, and buried. One of them was 52-year-old Padman, and the other was 49-year-old Rosli. Their families had been trying to reach them, but were unable to. They filed missing person reports on each of them. The suspects consisted of three people, a couple and a middleman. The couple was a Hindu medicine healer and his wife. The middleman was an occult practitioner. Padman and Rosli were lured months apart by the middleman and taken to the couple to be sacrificed as part of a black magic ritual. The women were tortured, killed, cut up, and parts of them were eaten by the couple. The reason for this was for financial wealth.
But of course.
Of course. The chief minister reacted, quote, "The double murder is something that shocks the human conscience. Only those with a sick conscience can engage in such acts. Such practices can only be seen as a challenge to civilized society. Kidnapping and killing people for wealth and to satisfy superstitions is an unthinkable crime in Kerala." End quote.
And obviously, this did not make them wealthy and ruin their lives. So why do people keep believing in this wild stuff? I don't understand.
It's got to be their beliefs. Whether it's proven or not, it's still beliefs.
I'm sorry. Proof's in the pudding.
On March 26, 2023, the body of Vivek Verma, a 10-year-old boy was found by police in a field in northern India. He was killed in a ritualistic manner due to superstition. The police investigation pointed them to Vivek's cousin, Anup Verma. Anup's 3-year-old son was constantly sick, showing no improvement with the use of medications. This made Anup go to the local black magic practitioner, who led him to believe that sacrificing a child would improve his son's health. Another relative of Anup slaughtered Vivek with a spade, like a garden shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Anup, his relative, and the practitioner were all charged with murder. That's just brutal.
It's so disturbing that people are capable of this kind of brutality. Like the daughters in the previous story, and then this kid just slaughtered. I'm not advocating for any kind of killing, but if that is what is unavoidable, why couldn't they have done anything less painful? It just seems like there's an underlying evil in these killings.
Exactly. I'm giving them sleeping pills. Make it not hurt.
Why do we have to keep, slicing them and bludgeoning them and eating? I mean, it's just so horrible. Why?
Wish I had an answer.
Yeah, it's like Jiminy Christmas.
Superstition killings aren't always human sacrifice. I believe this was in France because the men were referred to as Bretons. In 1912, 3 men came out of a bar after getting their drink on and saw a donkey that they thought had been spying on them. There was a local superstition that said the priest could turn into a donkey on special feast days. Suspicious and probably a little tipsy, the men thought the donkey was the priest. The men screamed at him, "We're not afraid of you," and then killed the donkey. I wonder what they were drinking to think that it was the priest. And why would they kill the priest?
And why is there a superstition that a priest turns into a donkey every once in a while? Like, what the heck is that about?
I don't know.
Okay. Like, okay, that's a really bizarre one.
We can't bring up superstitions without mentioning the ones that include underwear. Yes, I said underwear. Now, this one must have come about by a man. A lazy man, in fact. There's a superstition that says changing your undergarments, specifically shirt or underwear, on New Year's Day will cause boils.
Ew, are boils still a thing?
Apparently,
so old-timey.
Apparently, if you change your underwear, it is.
Okay.
Placing petals in your undies will attract a lover, or bees, or insects.
Or an infection. Just saying.
At least it'll smell nice.
Ew, will it though?
This one I just shook my head at. You will bring bad luck if you sew your ripped underwear while wearing them. That just brings up a whole lot of questions.
And yeah, not so lucky for a man if the rip is in the front. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't they have to have a rip in the front?
That's put there on purpose.
And in this day and age, don't they just throw them out and get new ones?
I don't know what they do. They're not of our species. I don't try to figure them out.
So my favorite is about a bride going commando. If a woman doesn't wear underwear under her wedding dress, she will be lucky for the rest of her life. She will be lucky or she will get lucky. That's the question.
I think it's funny that a bride comes out all in white, to signify purity, and she's going commando. A lady on the top and no, never mind.
Let that one go. Superstitions can sometimes be in the most unlikely places, such as sports. I think in almost every sport, players have some type of ritual. Baseball players Steve Finley and Darren Erstad wore pouches of healing minerals around their necks during games. Tennis player Serena Williams wears the same pair of socks during tournaments. Old NASCAR racing lore is that peanut shells are bad luck, and peanuts are almost never sold at races. They've said that peanut shells have been found in the smoldering remains of wrecked cars.
Where are they getting those peanut shells from then?
They need a snack for those long races.
Okay.
Apparently, this one is somewhat proven. The Sports Illustrated jinx. Any athlete or team that appears on the cover of Sports Illustrated will have misfortune. There were 12 instances in 2012 alone. such as broken wrists, hitting streaks ended, winning streaks ended, and internal viruses. Very intriguing.
That is intriguing.
There are so many more, but the one that I just heard of was about NFL Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. He wears the same red underwear that his wife gave him before his first NFL season in 2017. He only played one game, but they won that game, so the superstition was started. He has worn them every game since. He doesn't wear them during practices because he doesn't want to wear them out. My first thought was, does he wash them? And he actually answered that. His answer was every once in a while, but if they are on a winning streak, he doesn't. I'm never going to be able to look at him the same again. And actually, when they said red underwear, I was thinking the little red lacy panties. Thank you very much, Bull Durham, for that image.
I don't even know who Bull Durham is.
It's that movie Bull Durham with Susan Sarandon and
Oh, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah.
I now that you're saying it, I think I know. I've seen the previews or something, but
and I can't think of the guy, the main guy in it, Kevin Costner
I like Kevin Costner
and Tim Robbins.
Huh?
Tim Robbins were the ones that wore the black lacy underwear.
Okay. Well, as far as Patrick Mahomes, if those underwear aren't washed to pink pretty soon, then that's kind of gross. Sounds like he wears them a lot.
Well, every game. He wears them every game.
Ugh.
I was talking to my husband about sports and superstitions, and his eyes got all big, insisting they were true, which, of course, this was followed by his story of when he played football. He's so cute. He's so cute. It goes something like this. They lost the first game of the season. Then he wore his USC t-shirt under his jersey, and they won 5 in a row. The next game, he didn't wear it, and they lost. So he wore it for the rest of the season, and they won everything, including the championship. I don't know if that's a flex for his beliefs, the team's skills, or USC. I almost didn't have to ask because I know his mother if he washed the shirt, but I did ask, and yes, it was.
Yes, knowing his mother, I'm sure it was. And yes, he is adorable. But hey, that's kind of weird that it worked every time. So I'm down with Team Hubby.
Yeah, so don't mess with his superstitions.
No.
A simple definition of superstition is a belief or way of behaving that is based on fear of the unknown and faith in magic or luck. A belief that certain events or things will bring you good luck or bad luck. I know there are things in life that can't be explained. However, we justify them in our minds and whatever makes us happy, to be honest. Well, with the exception of human sacrifice.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
No-go for me as well. Quote, "It's bad luck to be superstitious," end quote, said Bill Backman. Bertrand Russell says on superstition, quote, "Fear is the main source of superstition and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom," end quote. And lastly, my favorite, the best ever, Groucho Marx said in his infinite wisdom, quote, "If a black cat crosses your path, it signifies that the animal is going somewhere," end quote.
Well said.
Well said, Groucho.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this show. Have fun, take care, and don't forget to let your imaginations run wild.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! We just want to thank you all for sharing your time with us. And if you'd like to send in your creepy little grim bits, we would love to hear your personal stories, interests, and suggestions. Please email them to grimwitwithdimwits@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at grimwitwithdimwits, Twitter at grimwitwithdimwits, and Facebook, Grimwit with Dimwits. Join us every Monday for new episodes, and feel free to share us with your grim-loving friends.
We would really appreciate if you would take a minute to rate and review. 5-star ratings go a long way and would really help us out. Until then, we would love it if you'd come back next week to delve with us into the strange and unusual things we just can't wrap our skulls around.